We're about to go into Beilinson Hospital, where we're bringing gifts to 4 of the hostages that are here that returned last week. And as we're going throughout the day visiting hostages and talking to them, and first and foremost telling them that we came to express our love and appreciation for them, and to let them know that not just all the Jewish people in Israel but around the world are thinking about them and praying for them. I think about this week's Torah portion, which is Noach leaving the ark. Now, Noach spent 1 year in the ark. These hostages in the hospital behind me spent 2 years in captivity, in a tunnel beneath the ground. And what do we find by Noach? When Noach came out, God told him, be fruitful, multiply, rebuild the world. But unfortunately, what did Noach do? He planted a vineyard and he got drunk. And he became a man of the earth, a man of the soil. And our rabbis say that he descended from his high spiritual status. Before the ark, he was called the Ish Tzaddik, a perfectly righteous man. But afterwards, he looked around at his world after a year in the ark, and he drank from the fruit of the wine and got intoxicated. And our rabbis say he should have planted wheat to repopulate the world. And it is so inspiring. Every single hostage we met with has such a fierce determination to rebuild their lives. We just came from Eitan Horn, who said to us, I'm 39 years old. I'm not married yet, but now more than ever, I want to start a family. I want to build a future for myself. I want that if I spent 2 years in captivity and I came out, that my life should be better than it was before I went into captivity. And every single one of these hostages talked about how they have dreams and aspirations, and they want to live a life that's even more connected and more dedicated to the Jewish people, to Hashem, to the Torah, and to the mitzvot. When we just came from the house of Eitan Horn, we were there a year ago when his brother, or 8 months ago, Yair came out. And I remember we were so happy to see Yair, but Yair was sad, he was depressed. And he said, I can't be happy. I left my younger brother behind. They took me, but my brother's there. I had to say goodbye to my brother. How could I be happy? I'm free, but I'm not free. Until my brother comes home, I cannot be happy. And then we returned to their house, and the joy on Yair's face, it was a different Yair. He's beaming now because his baby brother is with him. Eitan is with him. And when we spoke to Eitan, he said that the main reason I wanted to get out was because I thought about my brother, that he must be suffering, worrying about me, and that he'll never be happy and never be complete unless I get out. And to see the brothers, and it's really symbolic of Shevet Achim, the brotherly love that exists amongst all of the Jewish people. Something very beautiful that happened when we were sitting with Eitan Horn. He talked about how he loves to sing, but he said for 2 years in captivity, he just couldn't get music. He couldn't get the song out of his mouth. He couldn't even sing a song, even though he always loved to sing. And he said finally when he got out, he was brought to his home and he took a shower, and he said the first thing he did was he turned on music, and he said, what was the song, the musician that he loves the most? A famous Israeli musician by the name of Shlomi Shabbat. And he said, I love his music, so I turned on his music and I sang to myself in the shower as I listened to his music for the first time. Well, as he told us the story, Shai Graucho is taking us around, says, Shlomi Shabbat, he's a good friend of mine, let me call him. And he calls this singer, Shlomi Shabbat, on his iPhone, FaceTimes him, and he says, I have a surprise for you. And he puts Eitan on the video. And when Shlomi Shabbat sees him, he gets emotional. He says, I'm so happy to see you, because he knows about him. But he had no idea that he loves his music. And he says he has to tell you something. He says, I didn't sing for 2 years in the tunnels. I couldn't. I love your music, but I couldn't get myself to sing. But when I got free, I was released. The first song I listened to you was your music. And Shlomi Shabbat, this famous Israeli artist, singer, was so overwhelmed, and he said, listen, anytime you want me to come, I will bring my guitar and I will perform a concert just for you. It will be my honor, it will be my pleasure. And this love and this unity and this care that the Jewish people have for one another is truly the strength of the Jewish people. When I thought about Noah, he came out of the ark. He didn't have a state of Israel. He didn't have a country with millions of Jews waiting to embrace him, to love him, to support him. And maybe that's why he turned to planting a vineyard and getting drunk, and he fell into despondency and despair and never realized his dream of rebuilding his life after the ark. But every one of these hostages, they will go on to build beautiful lives. They will be great heroes and leaders of the Jewish people. You know why? Because wherever they go, as Yarden Bibas told us today, he says, when I go to the store, everyone wants to hug me. Everyone wants to tell me how happy they are to see me. He says it could be overwhelming, but it's such a comfort, it's such a support. And it's this collective strength that we have that will guarantee that, unlike Noah, who fell into intoxication and never realized his potential after the ark, these hostages will go on to live bright, fruitful lives. Yes, they're in hospitals and they're in rehab, and many of them are severely injured. And they will have to go through months and maybe even years of rehabilitation and also psychological help. But they have not just a family, but an entire nation that feels like an extended family there to support them. And everyone is ready to do whatever they do. And every one of them said, the fact that you came from America to support us, it just gives us such strength and shows us that we are really truly blessed to be a Jewish nation. When I asked Eitan Horn today, I heard you fasted for the first time in your life, this Yom Kippur, and he said yes. I said, what motivated you? He said, because I wanted to feel connected to the Jewish people all over the world, and so I fasted because I'm part of something much bigger than myself. That is our strength, our unity, our love, and that's what will get us all through this together. Have a wonderful day.